Hey everybody, what's going on? I'd love to showcase this brand new deck to you. Like I said in a previous video, I am still moving, so my quality is not going to be perfect, but I should be getting that fixed shortly. Anyways, this new deck is a double budget deck. I'm just calling it a budget deck because you don't need any resources to craft any cards in this. This deck is just purely off of what the game gives you. So I'll be showcasing some parts of it here, and then we'll get into a couple matches. So first up, I'm going to be going briefly over a couple of these cards and why I chose to put them in the deck. So firstly, cash drop. If you get farms early on, it's great to get that tempo going. You can put the steady growth balloon down, which I'll get into that later early, and you can just really establish a lot of tempo. Fortify obviously combos insanely well with the doubles. Mortar and Tack Shooter should be enough to get you through the early and honestly mid game. They're both very, very strong for their cost. The Aura of Strength Balloon is a card that I'm highlighting in this deck. I think it's extremely strong. I think it's gonna be insanely underrated, and like I said, it's a card that I want to highlight in this deck, especially with its synergies with these double cards. Nested Green is just good tempo. Same thing with the Golden Bloon. Firestorm, insane control card. I think it's the best control card, and honestly, the only reason why I chose Gwendolin over Quincy for this deck. Steady Growth Balloon, every deck in the game has to run it. I think it's by far the best card, especially the best balloon in the game. Next up, Sticky Bomb. If we get into the monkeys later, we'd realize a lot of them aren't too great for dealing with these big balloons. So Sticky Bomb is good help there to destroy them. Double green, rocking the double, whole point of the deck. Burny stuff, Mortar. I think it's a good mid-game defender. Obviously sets things on fire, which is naturally combos with Gwen. Banana Farm, you gotta run it in every deck, same thing as the Nested Green. Quick Ready, this will kill people. This card synergizes so good with the doubles too, because everyone's like, oh yeah, my thing's reloading, I'm gonna destroy this double balloon next turn. Hit them with the Quick Ready, they'll forfeit every time. Black Bloon, I think now that it's been changed from the first beta, is an extremely strong, just draw engine. It's good for its cost, it gets the game moving, yada yada. Moving on to the next cards here. Necromancer, it's going to keep those balloons at high health, as well as keeping some balloons on the board just for good tempo. Plus the little Necromancer balloons can be buffed by the Aura of Strength. So that's why I think it works great, because in case you didn't notice, there aren't a whole ton of balloons in this deck, but the Necromancer and later the Prince of Darkness will help deal with that. Super Monkey Storm, same thing as Firestorm, it's just an extremely strong damaging card. And then finally, Double Rainbow. This is, what's going to knock the socks off your opponent. This is a big win condition. Most games are going to be won on the back of this card as a finisher. And then Prince of Darkness, again, the Moab's nice, but it's really about that healing, keeping all of your balloons, specifically the double ones, at high health. So yeah, we're going to jump into some games now, so I can really showcase some different attributes and synergies with this deck. Jumping into the first game here. Do not want game night. Did not want that last one. Workshop's perfect because the first thing you want to do is get farms down. Yes, I got a farm, and I got a steady growth, and I got a necromancer. Very, very good start. And I'll take a supply drop is what I'm looking for here, really. That would be great. No supply drop. That's all right. And unfortunately, I'm going first. If you're running farms, you actually want to go second, because then you'll have, if you go second, then you'll have enough gold to farm before your opponent, which is pretty big deal. He's gonna get the wizard monkey down though. That's, good for him. He was able to get that early, but not much else he can do now. I got the farm down. I'm gonna develop the necromancer. He really is gonna be limited on options this early. And I got a quick ready. I can combo with some double balloons later. Well, this is a great start. The only way this start would get any better would be if I drew some Aura balloons, because the Aura balloons are really the hidden gem of this deck. They're really what keeps you on the board, keeps you dealing damage, and they can be extremely overwhelming if not dealt with. So a lot of the times, and a lot of the reasons why you will lose games is because you just don't draw them, or you don't draw anything that works with them. And alright, so this guy's actually going with the cash drop here, get some gold, another quick ready. That could be devastating to my opponent. However, you gotta, 9 times out of 10, you gotta develop these guys, these steady growth guys. Like I said, I think they're just blatantly OP. They scale way faster than your opponent can do damage. Like this dude can do 65 damage with his sniper every other turn. Meanwhile, these guys are gaining 50, so they're only doing like what, 30 some? Like it's just, it really isn't enough. Double Sharam, obviously very intimidating. So you know that's 500 damage coming my way in just a turn. I'm gonna be able to cheese him though, for the win maybe. If I do double rainbow, next turn 700, yeah. I hate winning like this. Actually, I love winning like this because that's the point of this deck. I should have lit the Saran there on fire. That's alright because both of these quick readies, I'll have 9 gold unless he decimates this rainbow right now, which he shouldn't because there's 2 bush balloons. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. They look like bushes. Steady growth balloons on the board. These both quick readies, very, very fortunate for me. I'm just going to be able to end him this turn. Unless he uses a quick ready on one of his ceramics, which he doesn't have enough gold for anymore. That's going to be enough to call game. So, GG to this guy. If he ever finishes his turn. Defender might be enough, actually. Is Defender enough? Was I talking too soon here? 500. Oh wait, he just used up both his shots. No, he goofed up. That's game. GG's. Alright guys, that was a pretty good example of how these double rainbow balloons can just sneak in, especially with the quick readies, catch him off guard, and just also showed how vital farms are. So yeah, on to the next game. Alright guys, moving on to the next game here. Looks like it's going to be against an Oben, Mortar Monkey. Definitely don't want game night. Hi fan ants. Love that. Okay, looking for farms. Looking for farms. Nice! I haven't gotten a farm in a while. So that's obviously great. You know what? I might keep the Fortify here. Just because I just want to demonstrate that you don't have to do Fortify on double Rainbow, or double Saram, or on the Undead Moab. Any of that stuff, you can simply just do it on any double, hence why there's so many doubles in this deck. So, double green, it only has 1 delay, 180 damage, add this to it, 280 damage for 6. Most people don't see it coming. I'll just deploy it now. He doesn't. One thing important to note too is if you look at his board, even though he has 10 gold, he has no monkeys. Oh, 65. He's got 1 monkey now. He only has 3 cards in hand. I should still be able to squeak in tons of damage here. There's that wall of trees. Alright, so maybe I'll refrain here, and I'll get this Prince of Darkness down. Nah, I like to combo that with the Aura. We'll do this. And we'll just go on to the next turn. He's going to do 150, break his shield, which is obviously huge, just to get that out the way, and do 50 damage. So there it is. There's the Marketplace. Such a powerful card. The reason why this deck doesn't run it is just because I don't think it's reliable enough. I will play the Firestorm here, clear his board, and yeah, we got 275 going to hit his face next turn. He does have his little dude back. He's got tons and tons of money, but he only does, one thing to note is even though he has all this money, he only has 1 card in hand now, which is going to be the Glaive Ricochet, which isn't particularly powerful against my deck. So Doesn't scare me. I'm not too worried. I like this play here, the Black Bloon. Just keep the draw going. Into... I'm not really losing anything. I guess just deal a quick 30, or a good piece of tech here. Or I can do both. I'll do 30 damage. One thing I want to demonstrate, it works good against all boomerang monkeys. You put the Gold Bloon down. Every time he attacks with their little ricochet here, it's gonna deal 10 damage to that Gold Bloon. I'm gonna be getting money. So let's see what he has here. It's honestly surprising he doesn't seem to have any drawing cards in a deck where he has this much farming power. Yeah, it's got 3 gold from that, buddy. He's got tons of farming power, but it doesn't look like he has any restock cards. Yeah, just gotta go with the Prince of Darkness here. And again, with another Gold Bloon, he's gonna keep farming that with the Glaive Ricochet, and I'm just gonna be getting everything back here. One more thing I want you guys to know is I have 2 quick readies in my hand, which... Oh, I want to see what he does here. I'm assuming he shoots the Undead Moab with it? Yep. Alright, anyways. It looks like he's gonna refrain. Alright, no, he is. He's still gonna do that. Is 2 quick readies will kind of surprise me with the Undead Moab. An Aura Balloon would be huge right now, because that would keep this thing massive, keep it hungry, as I like to say. Nested Green, not exactly what I want to say I was looking for there. I don't have the greatest answers to anything, but like I said, he only has 1 card. His defense, I don't think it's going to be enough. This thing has 4 reload. This thing's at 2, which means this is the perfect turn to get these steady growth balloons growing, of course. Wow, I should keep pressure on him. It says 1 delay, and Sniper here has 2 delay, and the other one has 4. So the double green is going to be a great play here, because his only answer is the Glaive Ricochet, which isn't exactly going to be enough. So this will break his shield and should do quite a bit of chip damage to him. Basically, he timed his delays poorly, and I was able to develop both the steady growth balloon and the rainbow balloon, or not rainbow, the double green. Like I said, he was able to take it out, of course, but he still had to use up all of his Glaive Ricochets on that, and he wasn't able to do anything to anything else. I'm looking for lethal. Can't find lethal, but I can find 300 damage and change. So I'm trying to think this out here. I guess you play Nested Green, and then I'm actually gonna wait 1 turn, because if I wait 1 turn for both quick readies, then I'll be able to send the Undead Moab with the bunch. I'm already doing 340, which is right on the cusp of lethal. He's gonna do tons of damage as expected, but he shouldn't have enough to deal with the Undead Moab, especially because he sees it in the back of the line. He thinks, oh yeah, that's not scary, you know, but this is gonna do 230 with both these. I have max gold right now. Or, I'll give the bushies 1 more turn to develop. There's not a huge purpose in, so I take a think, not a huge purpose in using quick readies on steady growth, since they're gonna grow regardless. Just to ensure that this is truly lethal, I'll put the Fortify on the Undead Moab, and bop, bang, Oben defeated. Even though he had all those good farms and he was constantly high, he just didn't have enough draw engine in his deck, and I was able to abuse that and beat him out in the long game. Up and into the last game of the day here. It's going to be against Doomy. I'm fine with Monkey Meadow. Looks like he's fine with Monkey Meadow too. You know what? I got a defensive start, but let's start with this. Let's rock. Like I said, very defensive start here with the Mortar, the Necromancer, Firestorm, all that jazz. But we'll see what we can get going here. Hopefully, you know, he doesn't have these farms. It would be a good time for me to draw a farm, if you know what I'm saying. Not quite though. I don't want to eat too much damage early on, So I might as well do a quick 45, just mitigate what I'm taking. See what he does here. And that's a farm, perfect timing, clutch. Alright. Yeah, Necromancer, come on now. I save for a turn or two. Or, you know what, I could even go aggro here. I could go aggro here, and I could say, hey, you don't have any monkeys down. You need to get monkeys down. I could do double yellow, or, you know what, I think I'm not gonna challenge him just yet. I will next turn though. I'm gonna get these bushy balloons down, because I'm just gonna start calling them bushy balloons. So I had something in my throat there. Yeah, I'm just gonna develop these little bushy balloons, because he is not gonna have the answers to it. He will have that Burny stuff, but that's just not gonna be enough. Fire also doesn't outdo the bushiness. The mortar is random. Obviously. So it might not be a bad time to pull out the double yellow, double green, and just hope. And another farm. Alright, change of plans here. We definitely play the farm and the double green. That's a no-brainer. Might as well do a little bit more damage. I think if I were to change one thing about this deck, I'd put another late game monkey or two in, because I feel like I don't think there's enough late game damaging stuff, because obviously you want to use Gwen. That's where Gwen's abilities come in the late game, and just constantly having, you know, positive flowing Bloontonium is good. But I'll be honest, one thing this deck does lack is a little bit of late game power. But it shouldn't be a big deal, because you should be winning, you know, like, in case you haven't noticed, I'm not late game power, I don't know what I said, late game defense. You have plenty of late game power. This deck is very, very combo oriented. This dude, I was able to just overwhelm him here. Yes, I got extremely, extremely lucky. I got 2 farms. But yeah, man. I'm trying to think of what defense he could do. There's nothing, right? Yeah, I don't want to BM him. I'll just end the game here. And yeah, thank you all for watching. This deck list, I think, is extremely strong. Definitely takes a little bit of time to get used to. But like I said, I think this deck list is extremely strong. And it's totally budget, so anybody who picks up the game can make it. And if you want to make it a little bit stronger, then you could add some late game monkeys if you want to be safe. But if you like, you know, the aggro, the combo play style, then this setup here that I showed at the beginning of the video should be perfect for you. So yeah, see you in the next one.